Let's go through each part of what we presume will be the matchup, because I'd be fascinated to know when you break down scrum, line-out, breakdown, defence, attack, goal-kicking, bench and fitness, how you would call that heading into this first test. So I'll come to you first of all, Sir Ian. On paper, the battle of the scrum would be shaded by who, or parity?
I think that would be 50-50.
Right. And is that good enough for the Lions? Or
Yes.
Yes. So the Lions would be happy with 50-50
Yes.
in that regard?
Yeah. They'll have to work hard, but I think one thing that came out of last Wednesday was the strength, and I think they've got two genuine front rows to keep pressure there for the whole 80 minutes.
OK. Line out.
I am going to go Lions based on the consistency we've seen so far. Itoja's been incredibly strong, some steals. So I'm going to say Lions, but we haven't seen a large amount from South Africa A.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Lions on that one.
Lions, OK. Breakdown.
From what we've seen so far, South Africa.
OK. Can the Lions fix the problems that we saw on Wednesday in time for the first test?
I guess I don't know is the answer, but we can only be better from that hit out on Wednesday, but then so can South Africa. So of course Lions can fix problems, but South Africa are going to do exactly the same thing. So right now South Africa got the edge, but it is a fixable problem.
OK. Ronan, defence. How do you call the defence in terms of who's going to have the stronger setup?
What we've seen, obviously, from the World Cup, that was the keystone of everything South Africa did. It's the philosophy of Jacques Niembar. So you pressurise the skill set of the opposition, and you also have the blindside wing working underneath. So you hit hard on the first four. I think there's a massive opportunity from the Lions' point of view to get after Willie Leroux in the air or isolating him with potential two people against him, because when you do the maths, it just doesn't add up. There is always a man over. So if you're very creative around that, I think you can exploit what they do, but what they have done in the past has been exceptionally good.
OK, so we'll give that to South Africa. Attack. Which of the two do you think will fancy their chances ball in handball?
Lions.
Lions. Sorry, I didn't know if Ronan was coming in on that. You got your foot trapped under the chair. Sorry, Sir Ian, take us on with the attack. You were about to say something.
No, I think...
No, I was going to say about the defence.
Right, Rog, your go.
Roger in.
We've got 3 minutes left. You go.
Sorry, okay. Because with the defence, I think... I'm after having a blank. Sorry.
Wonderful answer. I think we'll call that quits this afternoon. The abuse you've given me, you can take that right back on the chin. Sir Ian, Rog, stop talking. Sir Ian, talk us through who's going to shade the attack.
No, what I wanted to say, give me 20 seconds. Give me 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
20 seconds, Rog. It's all
20
yours.
seconds. From my time in the Southern Hemisphere, the Northern Hemisphere are well ahead, I would think, defensively.
Super. Sir Ian.
I would think that's a massive area of advantage.
OK. 3 minutes left. Rog, I'm going to move on now. Sir Ian, talk us through the Lions' attack, please.
I think attack to the Lions, because the Lions have more variety, and I think the players that the Lions can choose can actually play slightly differently. I think South Africa do play a much more structured way in attack, which can be held. A lot of it is to physicality. So if they're going to change their game, I think it'll be a risk for them.
Yeah.
And I think it's a Lions' strength because the players are more used to it and have shown that they can get to those outside spaces, create space, and actually look very dangerous.
I was going to be so proud of this section. I thought it was going to come together really nicely. It's going to go viral for entirely the wrong reasons. Goal kicking. Let's get through goal kicking, bench and fitness quickly. Goal kick. Go on, Rog, you tell us, who's going to get the better goal kicking stats in this one?
Oh, I would be surprised if either team dip under 80%. It's a massive strength on both sides. If you have Pollard and Mornay staying together, because it works really well having Mornay on the bench to come in to kick points, but also you look at Bigger, you look at Owen Farr, you look at Elliot Daly, they're 80% plus men. OK. Parity in the goal kicking, bench, Maggie.
Bench, I'm going to say Lions at the moment. We've seen in last 3 games that they have a very strong second half finish. So for me, I would say, yeah, the Lions have a good, solid impact bench that can make a difference.
Fitness levels.
I'd say Lions just because they finished well on Wednesday and they've been exposed to Test match rugby a lot more than South Africa have this past 12 months, so Lions.
OK, so after a very messy debate, we end up with parity at scrum time, Lions line out, South Africa breakdown of defence, Lions attack, parity at goal kicking, Lions bench, Lions fitness. I suppose the question off the back of that is breakdown and defence, Sirian, enough for the Boks to win this series?
The breakdown is going to be, you can't get away from it. One of the key areas, but you have to link it to set piece. So that's the one the Lions know they have to get right, and that's the one they have to improve most. If they get it wrong, the first 40 minutes on Wednesday night proves what happens. So it is important. If it's the same, the Lions have to get better at it by next Saturday.
Okay.
If they do, then yes, Lions should be in the driving seat ultimately later on in the game.
And how would that influence the way the Lions will look to play?
There's 2 things the Lions can do which can take away the South African game completely, I think. And that would be when you're defending, and the best defence coaches I had, we had this like first 3 phase mentality where the first 3 phases you are just so aggressive with so much line speed that they have to kick the ball because they cannot get any go forward, they can't get any speed of ball. So every defensive set, the goal is let's stop them playing within 3 phases. First carry they have, massive hit. Second carry they have, massive hit and line speed. You get to the second or third phase then, what they're almost certainly going to do is go to the air. Now that's when you have to dominate the air and you have to be able to take high balls. So the Lions have the likes of Watson, Leah Williams and Josh Adams, who I think they're strongest back 3 players under the ball. You've taken away their attacking physicality, you've taken away their aerial game, then it's game on. So I do think that those 2 aspects of the game are going to be massive for Saturday.
And we've said a number of times that history is often useless, but it often repeats itself. I mean, 2009, that first test, the Boks got out to a running start and the Lions couldn't overhaul them. Therefore, when you look at particularly bench and fitness levels, the Lions' game management in that first 60 minutes presumably is going to have to be absolutely spot on to make sure that they can take advantage of 2 areas where they potentially might be stronger.
You are right. I mean, actually, in Luke Cowan-Dickey's interview, he did say about they need to have a better fast start. They have been really slow recently. Even today, obviously, got 3 points down quite early on. So I think what's going to be quite key for them, as you've already highlighted, it's that game management. So starting fast, but then making sure you have a strong finish to end. And obviously winning the first test is so crucial because that definitely gives you the confidence to kick on. So, yeah, game management is going to be significant in their match preparation.
OK. You ready?
We've
built it up. We've built it up.
I'm just going to turn my Twitter off.
It's just a small amount of speculation, but we have got the captain of the last 2 Lions tour about to name his Test 15. 3, 2, 1, away you go.
OK, yeah, and I've changed this in the last 24 hours. I was frantically texting our analysts during the second half. Swap so-and-so for so-and-so.
Let's bring it in. Here we go.
My pack. I think Mako Vunipola starts at loose head. He's the most industrious loose head we have. Massive physicality, great ball handling skills to allow the Lions to play wide, experience, good in defence. Cowan-Dickey, again, the most physical hooker that we've got, contributes brilliantly at set piece and in the loose. Furlong, tight head for me. I think that's everyone's tight head. Itoji's been great. I think Alan Wynne comes straight back in to captain the team. I think that's what Gatland will want. I did have originally Watson and Curry, but Byrne today I thought was just proved me that he should play 6 because he contributes so well in line out, in the wide channels, his offloading game and as well as his breakdown. Toby Faletau was phenomenal in the 50-metre channels when he gets space, and his experience at the base of the scrum in crucial moments is going to be vital. And Tom Curry, again, is the most physical 7 that we've got, who's been brilliant. That's no disrespect against Watson. I think Watson would be phenomenal off the bench. I think he'd be great off the bench and be exactly the energy that the Lions will need. So I'm quite comfortable with that. That's my pack that I think can physically dominate South Africa, as well as have a good set piece and play in the loose. Murray and Bigger, 9 and 10, they've probably played together most against Japan. And then recently, I think they protected both players, particularly Bigger this Saturday. And he's had the most game time at 10, so Bigger. Murray's kicking game was good on Wednesday still. I think it was only 1 kick when I watched the game back. That probably wouldn't have been ideal. So I think his kicking game would be the Lions' plan A. Aki, you need to have a slammer and banger in at centre somewhere. And I don't think Henshaw did quite enough today. So Aki's at 12. I've worked backwards with my centres with Daly. So because I've got Williams, Adams and Watson, if a Hogg was in there, you could perhaps go with Harris, but I think you need some creativity in your centre. And given Lyons might have a 6-2 split, or given his versatility, Daly can cover the back three as well. So that's why he's in there at 13. And he's got out-and-out gas. He can play on the wing. And if he plays 13 next week, that'll be his 4th start at 13 on tour. So I think he'll be able to cope there. Adams, Watson and Williams are the 3 best players we've got aerially. They're 3 of the most physical, as well as Van der Merwe. But Williams is safe hands from the box kicks, which will 1,000% come from Faf de Klerk. Watson and Adams are lethal finishers, both good at breakdown, attack and defence, very physical, and they've serial finishers. So that's my. I'm quite confident and comfortable with that. Actually, that's my 15.
That wasn't too bad, was it?
Not too bad. I'm not looking at my phone yet.
Don't do that.
It's
Don't do that
buzzing,
for the
but
rest
I'm
of the week.
ignoring it.
But it is funny, actually, because we spent a lot of time today speculating, and actually then when you see, Serena, a team down on paper, it clarifies things very quickly. I mean, there would be... It's very hard to argue with any of that. Whatever team is named, surely is going to have the confidence of Lions fans behind it.
Yes, and it's like when the squad was announced that you could argue for players who weren't picked, but you couldn't argue against any player that was picked. Yeah. And I think the same applies to the test team. I mean, the players have done everything they can. I think Warren Gatland was obviously highly delighted with their approach, the attitude, and as he said, you can only play the opposition that's in front of you. Now, he would have liked that opposition to be stronger, but whoever you put in a test team, and you could make 3 or 4 change or whatever, there would be a strong argument for a number of players. It's the balance. And I think the challenge now is for the coaches to say, how are we set up for that first 40 minutes, and how do we take it in over 80 minutes to get one up in the test series?